Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
First down and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Tevin Coleman with some running room. Tevin Coleman down the sideline. Coleman, one man to beat. Tevin Coleman's going to go 90 yards, and Indiana takes the lead. Randall L. scrambles, started off the pitch, keeps it himself down the sidelines. He could go. Antoine Randall L. touchdown. Rory going to the single coverage, end zone. Touchdown! He hits Cooper again.
What's up? Welcome to the Hoosier. Oh wow, that was terrible. Welcome to the Hoosier Happy Hour. I'm not even going to cut that out. Episode 282, and believe it or not, one of the first post games that I'm not hungover. So I can't even chalk that one up to the drinks yesterday, which were flowing well. At the game where IU won game number 11, the win over Wisconsin 31-7. One of the guys there with me is here. Brandon, what's up?
Victory Sunday all around. Vibes are up. Energy is high. Ready to talk about a weird game. We'll go into it, but it was a weird game.
And Seth is here. Seth, how was volleyball? And congrats, I think, on the win, on holding off J.J. McCarthy.
You mean Miles Price? That dude was the best player on the Vikings today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw one big return towards the end of the game. That was good. And then you guys came back and had another big return. So good for you, I guess. Yeah, let's get into what Brandon's calling a weird game. I wish that this was what we used to call weird games all the time when we'd beat conference opponents by 24 at home. IU 31, Wisconsin 7. IU improves to 11-0. We'll get to that little fun stat here in just a minute. Stays at number 2 in the coaches poll, number 2 in the AP poll. Wow, I am just on fire with my mouth.
You need to be hungover.
Maybe. That could be it. It could just be my body just like, this isn't right. You're too focused right now. All right. Let's get into the stats. And then Brandon, I'm sure, has got some stuff he wants to break down at some point. So wins, obviously, this is the first time ever in program history that IU has started 11-0. Great quote by Cignetti, if you haven't seen it, for the post-game little on-field interview when he was asked what's it like to be 11-0 first time ever. And he's just like, it's just one more win than we had last year. So, but he says it better than I do. Also, with that victory and Alabama's loss last night, which I called, IU takes over the nation's longest home winning streak, which is extended to 15. That's 2 straight seasons, 8 last year and 7 this year. I did a little Seth math, with the average margin of victory at home. I don't think this is on your, is this on your outlines, guys? Does anybody want to take a guess? Average margin of victory the last 2 years at home?
In the 30s.
It's a good guess. Brandon?
Yeah, I'd say probably 3.5 scores, 24, 25 points.
37.9 points.
Holy cow.
Yes, 37.9. One of those, remember, there's a 17-point win against, I think, both, right? ODU and Florida International in there. So that's well below the 37.9. Now, you do have a 70-point win last season and a 73-point win this season, but still 50-point wins against conference opponents mixed in there too, but it's a solid average of 37.9. All right, Heisman Doza stats. We're not going to do the rushing stats. He was hit quite a bit in sacks, so his rushing stats were a little skewed, but passing fits right along what we thought was going to happen. The elite quarterbacks against Wisconsin eat, even though it didn't seem like he did. 22 of 24, 299 yards, 4 touchdowns, which matches the touchdown average from Sayin and what's your boy's name there, Seth? Simpson. Sayin and Simpson. Passing yards is a big stat to look at in this game. IU 305 with a 12.2 yards per completion, and Wisconsin with 98. Another thing Brandon pointed out on the way home, I believe, IU 388 total yards, Wisconsin 168. IU wins the turnover margin again, +2, interception and a fumble. No turnovers on the IU side of the ball. And then here's the part you guys don't have, and kind of the, how do I say it? Might point out some of the domination that wasn't necessarily, as Brandon said, felt in the stadium. Okay, here we go. Wisconsin had 2 drives that got past the Indiana 50. They had a 48-yard drive to start the game, missed a field goal, 5 yards, punt, 4 yards, 3 and out, punt, 79 yards, a touchdown on the fluke 4th and 1. I went back and watched that. I think that would have been Aiden's guy in coverage, but again, 4th and 1, you're selling out against the run. It was a great play. It was a great play call. So they've got 48, 5, 4, 79, and then 9 yards at the half. Here comes the fun part, guys. In the second half, you have 6 yards, 3 and out, -1 fumble, 9 yards, 3 and out, 11 yards, interception, 1 yard, 3 and out. Second half total yards, IU 219, Wisconsin 26. So there you go. Brandon, what stats did I not read off that stood out to you that were bad, good, any of that stuff? Seth, anything you've got, you guys just feel free to add in there.
Yeah, I mean, so the weird part outside of just stats is we were never worried, despite it being 7-7, despite only being up 3 going into half. There was a weird calmness in the stadium, which is just a complete culture change. Like, I think I can at least speak for me, again, just have so much confidence in the coaching staff and the players. And again, when I looked at the stats, 19-8 in first downs, held them to 2-11 on third down. Won the turnover margin as you mentioned, outgained them by more than double. I mean, it was again just domination station again, despite not covering, which I always thought the line was a little bit weird anyway. And that line seemed a little crazy for a team coming off a win. But again, I mean, like you just said, the domination in the second half was a masterclass, an absolute masterclass.
Yeah, Seth, do you want to talk? Because I don't know if you're going to get a chance. Other than this, do you want to talk how your boys played? Your boys played pretty well. Your linebackers, right?
Yeah, I was going to get into this with headlines, but it's I told you so. It's those 2 guys were really effective. Posa I think he had a sack as well. They were flying all over the field. They definitely came as advertised. I said that they were going to be just enough. They weren't going to be enough to win the game, but they were going to do some things that were going to be enough to frustrate the offense from time to time. But because Mendoza was just so efficient, because the run game delivered for the most part, it really didn't matter how well they played just because it was a full team win. So very cool to be right about a lot of things, though.
The only real mistake I saw Posa make, and I kept saying, I was like, man, this guy's good. But the only one I really saw him make, and it's just a freshman thing, was on the Holden Stays touchdown. That was his guy, like straight up. You could see him get burned and realize he was getting burned as soon as he turns around and sees holes or Stays in the back of the end zone. But I thought they were pretty impressive. I didn't really notice the other guy, but Posa I noticed quite a bit. We'll move right in. I didn't have any LOL Florida State stats. I don't know. They won. I don't know. It was close for a half. I guess that's funny against Virginia Tech.
I saw all the smoke about Virginia Tech getting James Franklin, but that has seemingly completely died down. And then also, since we're just talking coaches and random stuff, Maryland doubled down on Loxley. I thought he was gone.
He was gone. I thought he was fired.
They double
No?
down. They're keeping him. They're retaining him.
Wow. Well, I mean, it goes back to what we've said, and we've beaten the horse at this point, but it's there's who they going to get, right? Well, I gave out a pretty scary name actually for that opening on the way down that I think gave you a little bit of anxiety at some, like, unnecessarily at 7:30 in the morning. But Seth, I floated out that Bryant Haynes would have been a great fit for them, but it sounds like they don't have an opening. So good for them. Way to keep Mike. I guess you're going to keep
I
your.
feel like I was
your
almost getting
recruit, too.
Mandela affected today when
Yeah.
I was just like, wait, what? I thought James Franklin was going to Virginia Tech, and I thought Loxley was gone, and now apparently neither one of those things are happening, did happen. I have no idea. I'm very confused.
I'm Googling this just to make sure you weren't. off
I'm
your
looking it
run.
up right
Oh
now.
my
He
gosh.
seems right. Yeah. I thought he was
What-
gone.
What? I thought.
Okay, do you
I
guys
thought
know what I mean by
legitimately
like
he was
Mandela
fired.
effect? Something that you're like 100% sure happened, and then it turns out that didn't happen at all. It's like what I thought was happening in real time today with the Maryland job.
Did he? I mean, here's his Wikipedia. It'll be updated.
Oh, it's on there. It's on his Wikipedia still.
That he was fired.
No.
Right
but
here,
he's the current
Maryland.
coach.
2025 season, returned as head coach for 2025 for his 7th season. That's all it says. Oh my gosh. That's weird, dude. I'm gonna have
He
to go
is
back and
currently the head
find
coach at
something.
University of Maryland. Yeah,
I don't know. Did he coach Saturday? Anybody watch that game?
I could swear there was an interim coach. Like I remember reading that Loxley is stepping away or stepping down or something like, and apparently none of that is a thing.
It's shocking. It is so weird. I wish I could just find like a spot where it just says, here's who coached this game. I might go back and watch that. Like, just watch the highlights or maybe watch the game to see if he's on the sidelines, just to see if we were just completely shook. Mandela affected, exactly the way you put it. All right. Headlines. Seth.
I am in shock now. Yeah, before it was I was right, or I told y'all. But since I've already done that one, I'm gonna pivot it to it was kind of a sleepy senior day. It felt like the first half was a little bit of a snooze fest. There just wasn't quite the right rhythm. And then the second half was they scored immediately to get a little bit of that separation. And then it was just kind of like all right, well, I guess they're still playing football, which was kind of fun. It was just like the idea that IU can not necessarily play their best game and still have a coaster of a, kind of a laugher of a second half. Able to get out of it without major injuries. So it seemed like all the boxes were checked. So sleepy senior day in Bloomington, and that's a good thing as far as 11-0 is concerned.
Love that.
I don't
Brandon.
think we got out of there unscathed. I mean, Kamara got knocked out. We had Mendoza go in the tent. I feel like we need a bye week really, really bad. Luckily we do. But for my headlines, they almost had us in the first half. If anyone knows that little viral video. And then I have a celebratory SIG because he seemed happy in his post game. Probably the most positive I've ever seen him immediately after the game and then in his presser. So they almost had us in the first half and then a celebratory SIG.
Yeah, I just I didn't write one down, and I had one, and then I just lost it mentally. But it's along the lines of it's just business, right? We just took care of business. It wasn't flashy. There wasn't anything crazy. I mean, the touchdowns were pretty routine outside of Becker's. It just was easy. The cool thing, I remember what it was. What Don Fisher wants, Don Fisher gets. That student section for, I'd say 90%, stayed that whole game. The crowd stayed strong the whole game. We stayed. We haven't stayed for an entire game, I don't think, except for, did we stay for the whole ODU game, Seth, or did we piece out of that one? Yeah, we stayed for the whole one. I mean, it's been blowout city all season, trying to beat the traffic. We know how bad the traffic is to get out of there. We got out of there pretty easy, I feel like.
Oh, Garrett was a boss. I made that comment like 9 times on the way. It was the quickest I've gotten out in the last few years. It was remarkable.
I think not taking a direct route out may end up being the best way to get out. I don't know. But yeah, it was like what Seth said. It was almost like going through the motions kind of in the second half while dominating, but at the same time, it didn't feel like that crowd wise. I felt like I was in the game the whole time. Every third down, everybody was standing up. The whole crowd was into it the whole time. The football education overall in that stadium has shot through the roof in the last 2 seasons, which is amazing. And it was great. And Carter Smith paid tribute to him. You can see him on a video walking over to the students and doing the little heart hands symbol. And it was cool to see them stick around. And yeah, that's it. Let's move to the marketplace. Are we going to do stock downs? Brandon.
I don't know but we just got to say the offensive line played bad. I mean, they look tired. They look beaten up. You could tell they played for 6 straight weeks. No individual player, but just as a unit, they need.
Yeah.
Even more specifically, pass pro, I thought against the blitz, it just wasn't quite up to snuff. It has been other games.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this and you haven't seen Mendoza doing his little post game thing in the locker room or in the weight room, he's a little beat up. Like he got hit somewhere. I'm sure he's got a nice little shiner going on today. He had some nicks on him. So it'll be good to have a perfectly timed bye week, the one that we all hated going into the season, but it looks like it couldn't have gotten any better. So I agree with you. That's really the only thing that stood out was, it obviously affected the run game a little bit, although Hemby did run for over 4 yards a carry. Kobe Martin, just a smidge under 4 yards a carry. Black had a hard time getting going. But that all goes down to the offensive line. And I agree with you. I think they're just beat up. I mean, 2 tough weeks against 2 tough defensive lines is going to do that to you. So let's go stock up. We'll go offense first. Who wants to go?
I'll do it. It's Chuck Becker. This was just an easy thing right off the bat. He immediately steps up, has huge gains, has his touchdown as well. He has really filled in as a replacement for Surratt. Replacement's a bad word, but he's really filled a void that he's left, and it's really allowed for Mendoza to find a new security blanket. So his evolution as a season, we've expected it coming out. We expected more of it next year, but his acceleration and thrust into that role has paid off dividends so far.
Dude, that's 2 straight 100-yard games. 2 straight games with did he score a tutty against?
I don't think he had one last week.
Yeah, but he's just been so good. That was one of the possible headlines I had, but it just felt wrong. I was going to say Surratt who, but it was, again, really good to see him out there fully uniformed. Just, it's nice to be able to take our star players and be like, we don't have to have you today. You can rest. So I agree. Charlie Becker, absolute baller. WR1 next year. Brandon, who's your offense up? If he's there.
Yeah, for me, it's Riley. I didn't know he had that kind of shake. I didn't know he was that much of just doing his best Darnell Washington impression. Riley was incredible. And again, it's just the weapons galore that this offense have. So for me, it's just another thing that teams have to plan for. So it's Riley for me.
And he got his legacy touchdown too, right? I was hoping it was Van Horst, but he got one against his former team. So that was really cool.
Yep, he got his. You guys took both of mine. Really, the only two that stood out big time. I'll go with another legacy touchdown. I'll go with Holden Stays. I'll go. Why not? Right? I mean, Nando can't get any higher, so we can't do that. Cooper scores, but he scores late and didn't have a typical Cooper game. The running game was, as I said, it was fine. So I'll go with Holden Stays. I thought he, the 2 catches he had were good catches and a touchdown. So good for him on senior day.
And his parents were by us?
Yes, they were. That's right. That is right. We always have a lot of parents next to us, but senior day brought many more. All right, let's do defense. And then I've got a recruiting question for Brandon after this. Let's do defense, stock up, sorry.
Yeah, so I think you, Bragg, are the one who called him out as your player to watch. So I have no remorse in stealing him from you. But the name is Elijah Hardy. He was a 3-phase defender who really excelled at pass rush, run stuffing, and in pass coverage. It was definitely a 3-phase effect on the game. He was stellar. I really thought he did really well. I think you called that he would have his first interception. I think he just missed an opportunity at one, but I think he is really trending very strongly to end the season.
Yeah, he was great. He stood out. You want to talk about how Posa, is that his name? Posa stood out for them. Hardy stood out for us, and again, he's staying right on track where he was. This makes 51 tackles, I think, and now his last 6 games. So he's right there on average where he needed to be. 6 tackles, 1 sack, 1 TFL. Brandon, what about you?
So, yeah, I wanted to watch the defensive line, and Daly was just in the backfield the entire day. Losing Kellett Wyatt was huge, but Stephen Daly's ability to step up, his stock is shooting just through the roof right now. Daly, I thought, was the most impressive player on defense for Indiana yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with a guy that is a guy I've been talking about now for 2 years. Not so much this year because he hasn't seen so much of the playing field, but last year I told you guys to look out for him, and we saw him a lot yesterday, and that was Daniel Ndukwe. He had a big game, 4 tackles, 1 TFL. Unfortunately, his TFL was an absolute blast of a tackle to running back Gideon Ituka, who, as I was doing this and looked it up, looks like he's okay. Looks like he flew home on the plane, sent out a tweet. He's sitting in a normal plane seat, thumb up. And if you guys didn't see that, it was paused for quite a while as they brought out a stretcher and carted off the field. So he seems to be doing okay. So that's good. But yeah, Daniel Ndukwe looked great.
Yeah, just so you nerds know, they do like an arms cross anytime they need to call the cart out or anything, and they put their arms up, the medical staff, very quickly. It was you could tell there was something scary going on. I'm
assuming, without speaking out of turn, that he was, based off what I've seen, he was knocked out cold. Like the way that he turned right into that shot was, oof. It was a tough one, and his head hit off the ground pretty hard, and it was, yeah, I think he just went to sleep. Let's take a quick minute to do our promo, and we'll be right back to revisit predictions and go from there. This episode is brought to you by your go-to expert in the Indiana real estate market. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in a home right here in the heart of the Hoosier country, Garrett Lawton with True Blood Real Estate is the agent that you need. He's not just a real estate agent, he's a Hoosier fan just like you. And Garrett knows Indiana inside and out, from Bloomington to Indianapolis and everywhere in between. Plus, his personalized service makes the buying and selling process smooth and stress-free. So if you're ready to make a move, give Garrett a call at 317-410-8851 or visit his website at lawton-realty.com. And we're back. All right, so I said it would be an absolute blowout, 55-3. Brandon said 38-0. And Seth, congratulations. Wisconsin 9, IU 34. Very close, within 5 points. Well done. So Seth takes home
Just real quick, I just want to also give a shout to Bryant Haynes. Again, really hammered the zone defense again, and that continued to be really, really well, especially on that Boykin interception. Boykin was also my honorable mention had someone taken daily. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Bryant Haynes because, again, as you said it, Bragg, if he keeps – I don't see how he's not a coach, how we don't lose him to a head coaching job this offseason. I think that's almost a foregone conclusion. And then, again, Boykin was kind of a guy that we didn't really talk about all that much, but he's really come on the last month or so.
Yeah, him and Hardy at the same time have been really, really good. Although, I mean, that interception was thrown like right to him. So it was perfect. I mean, again, in the right spot, in his zone. But yeah, he's playing really, really well. All right. Does anybody final statements, any of that stuff? Seth, do you have anything in your sack, any of that stuff going on today?
No, I don't have anything in my sack. I do have a final statement though, is because I was right is considered, like dirty talk in my house. Love hearing that. It's a great thing. I will again admit that I was wrong. This is a great time to have a bye week for you guys. I was really butthurt about it. It made no sense when we first started looking at the season, in June or July. But it's going to end up coming at a perfect time for you guys. So really cool. And I don't mind having.
And Purdue was also essentially a bye week as well.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Purdue does have a bye week too this week, so they can, Barry O can get all prepped and ready to go for Signetti at home. Before I forget,
enjoy the light show.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys score. I'm gonna be there, so if anybody's going, reach out to the pod on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and we'll see if we can't hook up. But Brandon, what do you got?
So again, I mean, I think Sig said it. This season is historic. They get caught up in the don't get caught up on what's going, could we win it all? What are we going to do with Ohio State? Like, just enjoy this because there is no guarantee there will be any season like this ever again. So I said that before. I said that after the Oregon game, but I just want to hit it again because I saw a lot. Again, people are arguing about, our offensive line is going to get destroyed against Ohio State. We don't have enough depth. Like, people are somehow finding ways to complain. Don't do that. Don't do that. This was so much fun. Heck of a tailgate season, I think, from the Braggs and the Dubiches. Incredible season by the coaches and players. Confidence is high. Historic season, and you should treat it as so.
Yeah, it sounds like you're giving a eulogy to the season, but I get where you're coming from. Definitely not over. Still a lot of work to do, but yeah, dude, it's when you told me that Twitter's a bad place to be today was like, how have we gone in less than 2 years from being like the Twitter sphere that makes fun of ourselves to now being not okay with a 24-point win against Wisconsin? Like, I don't understand it. We can't beat everybody by 50, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, these are still Power 4 Big Ten football teams. I mean, look at the way Northwestern took Michigan down to the last second. Or
you mean playoff bound Michigan?
Playoff bound Michigan's ridiculous. and the way that Maryland, who can score points all day, only put up 6 against a terrible Illinois defense. Like, weird stuff happens everywhere. Imagine what Twitter looks like on Texas A&M today. Does it look great? Like, whoa, what a big comeback. Or does it look like we gave up 30 points to one of the worst offenses in the country? Granted, they held them in the second half, but I think I'd rather win by 24 than win by 1 and be down by 30-3 at halftime. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Is that it? Everybody's good?
That's
Good
it.
deal. Let's do
What
it.
an
All right, be
IU
sure to check
basketball
out-
game to watch. Talk about offense.
See, this is where I get caught. I didn't even know we played today.
Hey, Purdue's
What
after
time
that.
is
So
it's at 5:30. Yeah, it's on in 9 minutes. All right. Yeah, we're not gonna watch that one. Yeah, be sure to follow the pod, Twitter, Instagram at Happy Hour IUFB. For real, if you guys are going next Friday, reach out. Not next Friday. I guess it's like forever from now.
Black Friday.
Reach out to somebody and we'll maybe hook up out there in West Lala. I'm assuming there's going to be lots of us out there, so see if we can't do something like that. Be sure to download, rate, review, and follow on all of our platforms. If you guys give 5 stars, this is what I've read. I've been told this by Apple people. It helps people find the pod. So spread the word, give us a 5-star review, and we'll go from there. Till then, see you. Cheers.
See ya.
Whatever.
Cheers.
Say something stupid.
At least we don't play Samford next.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.